My name is Steve Holmberg, and this ePortfolio is my culminating academic experience in the Masters of Educational Technology program at the University of British Columbia. I'm a music specialist and musician currently employed in the Nanaimo Ladysmith School District. I started my teaching career in 2003, and during my tenure I've taught general music, concert band, jazz band, and choir. My current passions and roles include supporting learning in collaborative environments that nurture creativity and facilitating the meaningful integration of technology into diverse classroom settings. First thing I want to talk about in this ePortfolio is the framework that I decided to go with when building this environment. I wanted to create a design that was intuitive but also minimalistic in its approach. I wanted to use a lot of white space in the look and feel of the website. I wanted to incorporate links that are useful, and I also wanted to make the site collaborative. So as I walk you through the different design aspects of this site, you'll see that I've used an ideology blog and Twitter as my main collaborative vehicles to help me interact with educators, people both on local and global scales. So as you'll see on the home page, I basically have headings here, but really the only heading is of course my metaphor, and that breaks down into 6 different subpages. I didn't want to have a lot of different subpages on the site to kind of confuse the user, so I wanted to make it as simple as possible. You'll see at the bottom there is a footer here that the user can use to go back to the home page, the recording studio page, which of course breaks down into subpages, the assessment page, there's a link to Twitter, my ideology blog, resources and references. As you go through the website, although I do like elements of chaos theory and spaces that allow the user to interact in many different ways, I tried to provide a linear approach, almost to make this ePortfolio kind of read like a book. So you go from page to page and flip through it. You'll notice at the bottom of each page I provided a button to go to the next page. I didn't provide a back button, and I did that intentionally because I wanted to propel the user in a forward motion. What I did do, I took a suggestion from a Met peer, is that I wanted to draw the participants' attention to key phrases and key words without the use of images and stuff that would make the site cluttered. So I just used a different font color to speak to kind of key learning outcomes that I associated with each course and with different aspects of my learning. And then another design thing that I wanted to make sure that I made consistent was how I impact each course and each eTech course in my Met journey. So you'll see the course title, you'll see how that specific course impacted and transformed my practice in that first paragraph. And then the second paragraph talks about the artifacts and how those artifacts transformed my practice and was able to allow me to take theory and apply that to my practice. So that's consistent on everything. You'll also see that any kind of text-based documents are embedded right in the site, and you can scroll through them, and I made them large so it's easy for the user to navigate. And then all of my hyperlinks or linked websites open in different pages. So you never lose track of where you are in the portfolio. Everything that you open up does not download. It goes to a different page and you can still go back to the ePortfolio. What I also wanted to do with this ePortfolio is make it an environment that is as collaborative as possible. So for me to do that, I thought a blog would be a nice idea. So what I decided to do is I created what I call my ideology page. And basically all this is it's a blog, and I've taken discussion posts throughout my coursework in the Met program, and I've just put them into blog posts. So 10 blog posts of some stuff that I thought was engaging and inspired some really rich and deep discussion. And then what I also did down at the bottom of the footer is I embedded my Twitter feed. So participants and users, if they want to learn a little bit more, they can go onto my Twitter feed and engage with me that way. So as part of this ePortfolio, I wanted to include an assessment page. And although that for this we had to include the assessment rubric and how we were going to get our ePortfolio assessed, I also wanted to add some other things that I developed over the course of the MET program in my practice at the schools that I taught at. So with my assessment rubric, obviously content and the TQS requirements are themes of paramount importance. But I also wanted to unpack and speak to design and collaborative themes. So you'll see that my assessment rubric for the ePortfolio, there's our TQS requirements, collaboration and reflection, the artifacts and content, and then the design and presentation. I really can't emphasize how I believe that design is so important, and I think that good design will draw the user in, and I hope that I've done that with this ePortfolio. I also wanted to provide within the reference page some resources, some digital tools and some digital environments that really kind of transform me throughout my MET journey. These are tools and resources that I really feel were instrumental in helping me be successful in the MET program. Right, so now I want to talk a little bit about my metaphor. So I'm a musician, I'm a guitar player. And as a musician, I've had the opportunity to play guitar in a wide variety of bands that I perform both locally and internationally. Some of my favorite music experiences have developed on stage or in the studio when surrounded by musicians who encourage creativity and risk-taking, nurtured within safe collaborative environments. My recording studio metaphor provides a connection to the MET program that I'm passionate about, but more importantly, it speaks to the relevant future-focused themes that I've developed during my engagement in the MET program. Much like the MET program, the recording studio is an environment that nurtures creativity, but also demands planning, critical thinking, collaboration, and the ability to put knowledge into practice. So what I did with the recording studio is I unpacked it and distilled the metaphor into tangible components that align with the courses and artifacts within the MET program. So it's important to know that each studio component has a specific role in the process, but when combined, when all those different components are combined, it produces authentic works that are ready for consumption, evaluation, and critique. So the live room is a space where works start to come together. Ideas are created, formed, and constructed. And there's always that where you take prior knowledge and that prior knowledge can be transformed. So when I aligned eTech 500 with that, it was basically just, like the foundational structures of the live room, the core courses, and specifically eTech 500 provide a foundation to build knowledge and beliefs on. And of course, within the live room, you have the instruments that help get those ideas from the mind into tangible forms that audience members and listeners and participants can relate to. So eTech 512, the application of learning theories to instruction. So this course really helped me develop my own beliefs about different learning theories, and I'm now able to understand and see how these different learning approaches impact formative growth of today's learner. So much like the instruments in the live room, what type of approach you use or what type of learning approach or what type of instrument you use really impacts the final product, because the diversity of learning theories and the diversity of instruments in the recording studio can really take learning and outcomes into various paths. So of course the final mix is where everything comes together. So the stuff that was taken into the console is now mixed and edited and really prepared for final presentation. And of course I aligned 590 with that, our graduating project. And the cool thing about this course and how it aligns with the final mix is it allowed each of us to really construct and show our learning in ways that were authentic to us. And we were supported, of course, by peer collaboration, critical review, which happens when you're doing a final mix down of a tune. And the framework enabled and necessitated the reflection process. And I believe that, allowing students to reflect on their learning is a necessary transformative step to enable that lifelong learning process. So I want to thank you for watching this guided tour, and I hope that this ePortfolio is engaging to you, and I hope that you interact with it and engage in discussions, not just with me through this ePortfolio, but with colleagues in your local communities and global communities. Thank you.